Well, everyone, welcome to Pearls Politics. It's another week, new events, and all right. So let's get starting, dive right in, bringing in the rest of the team. We got the heartbeat of the South. He's always up to date on what's going on in the world today, and every beat of my heart. My son Tim Harrington. Hey Tim, how's
Hey,
it
Mom,
going?
how's everybody doing?
Well, yeah, except for a bad hair day, I do all right.
You look
I'm
good.
not.
You look good. You're good. You're good
Thank
to
you.
go.
It's a Thursday. I'm not worried about it. All right.
Yeah.
All right. You know, Z goes zig and zag on the politics. He keeps up with it though.
Hi,
Hey,
family.
Z.
What's up, James?
How's it going? What's going on with you?
We all ready to get into this? I mean, Tuesday's coming quick, isn't it, Tim?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We're
The caucus is what, Tuesday?
yeah, we're in 24. It finally got here. But hey,
It's
we're not
time to
going
put
in.
up or shut up.
And we're, yes, and we're not going anywhere without her. Our girl, Kathy C. Carson. Hey, Kathy.
Hey, Kathy.
How you doing? What's going
Oh,
on?
I'm doing good. I went out in the snow and got my hair all wet and then waited for it to dry and then curled it again. So
Oh, wow.
because
Yeah,
it was
it's
so
snowing.
out there. Yeah.
It's snowing in New Mexico.
Yeah, it's hard to believe. It's like
Okay.
blizzard conditions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Test studio.
Wow.
hmm So where's Siggy? He doesn't have
I
his
was supposed
camera.
to.
He's here. You
I'm
can't
here.
see
Well,
Yeah,
it looked like his camera wasn't on. Okay.
Oh,
Nope, I'm
he's
here.
here. Can you see him now?
Now I can. Maybe it's just my internet connection slow because of the weather.
Yeah.
We got a special
Yeah,
guest
okay.
today sitting in with us.
What do you mean?
We done.
kidding.
Oh,
Wait a
hi
minute.
there. I see her.
Oh, the kitty?
I see him. I see him. Hey,
Pretty
he's coming
cool.
to here. Hi
That's my
there.
handicapped cat.
Oh,
Oh,
so cute.
well, look,
He said, I want to see Emily Pearl show, the one everybody's talking about.
Oh, yeah. Well, hey, you guys are communicating really great together. So I'm glad to see that you're practicing your telepathy. And what's his name?
Rocky.
Hi, Rocky. How are you doing?
His name is Rocky because he's got a right hook.
I see you looking at me, Rocky.
His little paw.
Hi, Rocky. Well, I'm not going to try to communicate with you all the way up there to New York, so listen to us tonight, right? Thanks. We're happy to have you in the show, right, kids? You know, kids love animals, right?
His
Yay,
brother was on
Rocky.
yesterday.
What was on yesterday?
His brother.
Oh, okay. So we had a guest, so you really didn't get a chance to show on.
They're
Okay.
twins.
Excellent. All right, then. So we're coming back with topics, you guys. But meanwhile, let's take a moment, and I got to do the same, let everybody know that we're live so that they can come on in because they don't remember on their own, okay? We'll take a break, y'all. We're going to be right back. So please don't go away.
Science has taken a major leap in the battle against thinning hair in the new topical treatment called More Hair Naturally 9. Why? Stem cells. This triple stem cell formulation may help repair and rebuild the major hair components that produce hair. Most people who experience hair loss may not realize, but damage can be done to those hair components due to DHT buildup and other factors. The old approach of DHT blockers, stimulation, nutrient supplementation is fine, but often that's just not enough. Stem cells can take it to the next level. This new natural treatment also contains Redensyl, Capixyl, and Bicapyl. These breakthrough ingredients stand alone in terms of documented success. But guess what? All three are contained in the new More Hair Naturally 9 formula. And there's more. We have several peptides designed to help fight DHT, reduce inflammation, stimulate cell production, and much, much more. In fact, More Hair Naturally 9 addresses almost every cause and symptom of thinning hair currently known to science.
right, so we're back. All right. Um, let's see. I want to start off with our guy Donald because he's in court today, and his attorneys
Yeah.
presented their case. So Tim, looks like you're ready to hit the road
Yeah.
running. Come on, come on.
Yeah.
Say
Okay.
something real quick to Emily.
What is that?
I apologize for the noise in the background. So if it gets overwhelming, just mute me.
Oh yeah, I'll take care of that. No
I got a
problem.
fan on. I'm trying to dry my bathroom out that got flooded and a dog on hospice.
Oh, don't worry about it. That's just us tonight. We don't have a guest, so I'll keep control of it. Okay.
Just
Not
a fair
a-
warning.
I understand. Thanks for the warning, though.
He's in the background barking.
Oh, don't worry about that. Yeah, we love our pets. They're us, So, Tim, go ahead.
Yes. Okay. Fannie Wilson. If you all don't know who she is, she's the Fulton County District Attorney in Atlanta, Georgia.
Uh-huh.
She has, she's the one that filed a RICO Act towards Donald Trump. She has been accused of having inappropriate relations with a Mr. Wade.
Ooh.
Mr. Wade, Fannie is his boss. So they have documents pertaining to they went on vacations together, amongst other things. She has been subpoenaed to come to his divorce.
So what's that got to do with Trump?
What it has to do with, they're saying it may be a possibility that a lot of cases is going to be dismissed because she had that's inappropriate. That's fraternization.
So
Right?
what does he have to do with Trump?
What does he? What do you mean? Who he?
I mean, how does a relationship with her, with one of her people, have anything to do with her bringing the charges against Trump? That's what I'm trying to ask and see if you can explain that.
Well, I believe what they are saying, this has been over, I don't know, I think a minimum of a year period.
Mm-hmm.
As of right now, it's just allegations. But come to find out that she was subpoenaed to go to her subordinate's divorce, right? So people tried to get the records for the divorce and it's sealed. So what they're saying is due to her inappropriate behavior is more likely than not it's going to cause problems for what she filed against Trump, cases that she have amongst other people. Because
I still don't see the reason for it.
Well, fraternization, like
Yes.
if they're dating,
Right.
and the prosecutor, if she's dating like the prosecutor, I read
Right.
something
Oh,
like
so
that.
you forgot to tell me that he was a prosecutor.
Yeah,
he's
he's
a-
a prosecutor.
Okay,
It's a
so
conflict
you
of
didn't mention
interest.
it.
Yeah,
Okay, that's what you should have led with. You didn't
he's
mention that he was a prosecutor in the
right.
case.
He's an appointed lawyer.
Mm.
It's
Now,
a conflict of interest.
it's a conflict of
Yeah.
interest. Amongst other things, this man has been paid $1 million of tax money.
Okay, now you're explaining it. Good. Come on.
So he was paid $1 million, I think, within a year's time, which came from the taxpayers. But it was okayed by Fannie Willis for it to be approved for him to get the amount of money that he was getting.
All right,
So,
Kathy,
yes,
come on in there.
Right. So they're saying not only the more they look, the more they're finding. Because they had no idea that she had even been subpoenaed to go to Mr. Wade's divorce.
Conflict of interest. Got it.
Right.
I
Fraternization
can
is a no-no.
Hey, that is pretty silly considering that she's a public figure and she
Yeah,
would have to think that this is going to come out. So
Right.
she would be very cocky, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Very over the top cocky to
Right.
even attempt is when she's in a compromising situation herself, personally and professionally, both. She's
Right.
both.
Exactly. And
All
so
right.
it's gonna have an effect on the cases that's pending, probably in the ones that are being charged,
Okay.
because that's a hot mess. Uh,
Right.
this is a scandal, almost on the highest level on the legal
Mm.
aspect of it.
Okay.
So yeah, it could be good news for Trump. It could be good news for a lot of other cases that she's handled. It depends on how long this affair was going on for.
Okay. So I understand it now.
Right.
Um,
Okay.
but but you're talking about the state of Georgia, which
Yes.
is that was good input. However, I'm talking about the state of New York, where Trump attorneys are actively in court. They were actually in court today, and so was Trump.
Right. I was going to
Um,
go after you that, but you went ahead on to put me up first.
oh, okay. Well, you should have led with that, right? You led with an old case from Georgia, and I'm talking about New York. Okay, so I want to know what you think about the New York case, then, Tim.
Refresh my memory on the New York case again.
Okay, so the New York case is the Attorney General of New York is filing a lawsuit against Trump and all of Trump's and his organizations for fraud.
Okay.
What they're
James,
saying,
right?
Letitia James, and what they're saying is that let me get my glasses because I couldn't read my own small writing. They said that he is accused of inflating and exaggerating about his wealth and the value of his properties and the value of his businesses, and that he inflated the numbers of the value of them to benefit to be able to borrow more money from the banks and to insure his properties and businesses for more
But he had paid
money
everything
than
off.
they. Don't interrupt while I'm talking. I'll give you a chance. But that he had and to get more to let me start over because James interrupted me. That he inflated his property value, all of his properties, real property like
Yes.
his hotels, homes, golf clubs, blah blah blah, and then the businesses are like the organizations under his business that he calls his businesses. Um, he inflated more. In other words, he exaggerated and said that
Yes.
they are worth more than they actually are.
Yes.
And they say that the reason why that they're claiming that this is the alleged reason why he did this was so that he could make his properly return money back more on insurance claims if anything happened, but also inflated his worth value
Yes.
so that he could borrow more money from the banks. So like if
Yes.
you're a certain amount of level of income, the higher your income level is,
Right.
the more money that banks will loan you.
Right.
So they're charging him with bank fraud and insurance fraud.
Okay.
Now I've got my opinion about it. So what I'm gonna ask you guys is, what is your opinion? And do you think that he will win or lose this case? Now, his attorneys presented their side today. Now the prosecutor will present his side tomorrow. Their sides tomorrow. I'll be watching that
Okay.
too. So I'm
Um,
gonna start with James since
Okay.
James was eager to talk. James, what do you think about the case, and do you think he'll win or lose?
I think he'll definitely win. And all it's about is to get Trump out of doing business in New York. That's all it's over.
Yeah, because they say if they win, if the prosecutors win, then they're going to fine him $358 million that he would have to pay, and that he would no longer be able to do business in New York, just like James said. Kathy?
Well, this is really going to be hard to prove as a paralegal looking at this, because they would have to prove intention that he deliberately did that. And there's no way that they can prove intention on
That's
something like this. There's just no way.
good point. That's number one, Kathy. Yay! Excellent point. I see that. Win or lose, and what do you think about it?
Well,
Who,
I don't
me?
think they're going to lose their case, New York,
Prosecute.
because
So you're thinking Trump will
and
win.
Trump is going to win because I think it's just a stumbling block. They're trying to block him in all ways, and it's all campaign issues, and it's just harassment, really.
Yeah.
I think he should go after them and counter
yes.
sue them. Wins.
Good
That's what
point. Tim, come on with yours.
You know, I can't unsee what I've seen.
Mhm.
What I mean by that, prior to Trump becoming president and campaigning for president, I remember a couple of years prior to that I watched a documentary on that.
Mhm.
That was sort of kind of a pattern of him. This was prior to him getting the hotels.
Mhm. Mhm.
That they were saying that he were inflating, and overpricing
Mhm.
the hotels,
Okay.
forcing the banks to give him more loans. So I
Mhm.
don't know how far they're going back. He might have changed his practices. We all get older, we all get wiser.
Mhm.
Like I say, it depends on how far they're going back. But then again, just like Captain say, it's something that they got to prove. And Trump is a one hell of a businessman.
Mhm.
He's been that way all his life. So I'm gonna have to go with Trump, man. I believe he's gonna win.
Good point. That's point number two. When you mentioned about the time period.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So as you guys know, I've been studying about I'm going to get my insurance license, so I've been in class, and I've studied an equivalent of 2 semesters. And one of the things that comes out is that insurance and banking laws kind of go hand in hand as far as regulatory laws are concerned. So, Tim, when you brought out the fact about time, and as an insurer, you're considered the principal. Okay, the bank is the principal because they're the ones that's loaning the money. The insurance company is the principal because they're the one that's going to pay the claim should something happen. All right, so according to regulatory law, and it does vary from state to state. So it would be interesting to know what the time frame is for the state of New York. However, I know that it can't be as long as Trump has been doing this. For the state of Tennessee, which I'll be licensed to do insurance in, the regulatory boards and the commissioner of the state, the insurance commissioner of banking, all of these people that do the oversight on banking and insurance are supposed to check these things out. And they have up to 2 years in the state of Tennessee to declare or say or file against a policyholder or a banking customer to say that, tell them that they have committed fraud. And if they discover, they have up to 2 years to discover it. That's time frame. That's very important. If they discover it within that time frame, then they have the right to file a claim, to sue, get the money back, or prosecute. All right. If they don't find it within that 2 year period frame in Tennessee, it's their loss. They can no longer do anything. The only thing that they can do is drop them, and no longer carry them with, as a policy holder, or with the banking, they can close his bank accounts. They didn't do that. They didn't do that. So the thing that Kathy said about intent is very important. That has to be proven. And the fact about Tim, what you said about time frame, the insurance regulatory commissions, as well as the banking commissions and regulatory boards of these two entities, they missed the window. So how are you going to come back 20 years now and say this person committed fraud? This person inflated the value of that property. You've been insuring them for 20 years. You mean you didn't know that? This
I would have, yeah, because of the time frame, I would have to say that it would just be considered hearsay.
Yeah, and I mean, for the record, let's just be clear.
Mhm.
All these guys are buddies. They all play golf together. Trump is just really being singled out because he's not the only one that's just came up that way and for his doing business.
good
All of
point,
these,
Tim, because
all these guys buddies.
very important point. Good point. And the reason I say this is because this is a unprecedented lawsuit that is being filed in the history of banking and insurance. Okay.
Yeah.
And the state, and as well as the state. Okay. So if Trump loses this case, this is going to set a precedent. That means that they got to go after every other business company in the state of New York. That means you're making more work for yourself, because now it's your responsibility, DA prosecutor, to go and investigate everybody every businessman is doing business in the state, in your state, and every business person that owns property in your state. Now, because you've opened up this Pandora's box, if you win this lawsuit, state of New York, now you're making more work for yourself, because now you owe it to the people.
You can't discriminate.
To go and investigate everybody else, right?
Yeah.
So why would you even want to open up a can of worms like this? You see what I'm saying? Dumb.
They're not looking at the big picture. They're so focused in on Trump that they're not looking at the big picture.
Exactly.
Well, not only New York are they doing this, but in Georgia. So she should have thought about that too.
Exactly. I agree.
They should all be thinking about it.
All right, because I'm not gonna try to work hard. I'm gonna work smart, and I'm not ever gonna be looking. Okay, what kind of job I have? I'm not ever gonna be looking to add more work to my workload, right?
Yeah.
Because you already don't have enough money to hire employees to help you. Now, if you win, now look at all of this work that's got to be done. Look at all this investigations got to be. Look at all these hours got to be put in. Look at all this money got to be paid out, because you got to hire people to do that.
And I mean, it goes back to what I said. All of these guys are buddies. They all hang out at the same spots. They all hang out at the same country club. You know what I mean? So let's be clear. They're not going to get a lot of cooperation if they're talking about getting out of the banks. One thing about it, the man never forfeit on anything that, as far as I know, pertaining to the deals. Because one thing about it, if he's been crooked or rotten in his deals, he wouldn't be buddies with all of them.
Well, you know what I mean? I love my crooked.
Yeah.
It's just that, you got mad at me now, so I'm gonna get you.
Right. Right. So you got to get these other 50 or 100 guys behind me. If
you mean
10,000
other businessmen in the state of New York that has inflated their property?
Yeah.
Now you got to find out if what they said their property is worth is really worth that.
Yeah.
Now you got to investigate as to whether or not they told you the truth when you loaned them X amount of dollars this time, X amount of dollars 3 years later, X amount of dollars 5 years later. Okay?
Yeah.
Y'all see what I'm saying?
They definitely open a can of worms.
This is stupid. So stupid. And so I really think that if Donald's attorneys really do their homework, I really should be defending this case for Donald. But if it's the
Yeah.
if now I didn't watch it live, so I don't know really if they actually pointed these two things out because those two factors are the most uh, defensive factors that they could use to succeed in winning this case. And so I'm hoping that they did because tomorrow is the prosecutor's case. Now, if they did not uh, plead, plead this, use this as a part of their defense today, they will be able to come back and add that in their closing argument. So, in my opinion, in my mind, and in my knowledge, book of knowledge, and experience, the lawsuit is a frivolous lawsuit.
Yeah,
It
and
should
without it,
never be taking place in the first place. And this is
right,
what Trump is saying.
right, and the thing about it is, all his lawyers are top notch. You know what I
Mhm,
mean?
mhm.
I'm sure that he has one that
Yeah,
specializes in that.
yeah,
You,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Doesn't do anything else but just specialize in
Just
that
that. Yeah. Oh,
area.
he had about six of them there around him. I did see that.
Right, right.
Mhm.
So I don't see that happening. I don't see him getting no conviction on that.
Well, I've got some advice for the state of New York. If you got any sense at all,
Leave it alone.
you come in it tomorrow and said, the state rests and drop the
Yeah,
lawsuit because you're not
yeah.
doing anything but making more work. The winning this lawsuit is the last thing you really need, the state of New York.
Right, right.
The
Because
last,
that mean the banks people got to hire more people. The insurance company have to hire more people.
yeah, the
But
banking
you
and
have to think
security, the feds got to come in on it.
yeah.
See, if they
Yeah.
win, you got to bring the securities feds in on it.
Mm.
And that means the FBI got to go back all these years and look at all these business owners and property owners in the state of New York.
Maybe they need the money. Maybe it's as simple as that.
Well, I
Maybe
know
they're
they
just
need the
doing it
money,
for the money.
but they wouldn't. And there's another thing: if they think that they're gonna get a lump sum of $358 billion
There
from
they go.
Trump,
No way.
they can
Good
forget
luck.
about that too, because Trump
He'll
will
keep
pay
it
them.
tied up.
Trump will pay them $100 a week
Yeah,
if you have to,
right.
because you can't demand how somebody pays it. And he's
Mhm.
got a good excuse. His money, all his money is tied up in his campaign right now. Okay,
Yes.
I can't
Don't,
afford to pay you three
I ain't
hundred
got it.
million dollars in a
Don't
lump.
forget,
I
Emily.
ain't got it, but I will pay you $100 a week. You know, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, James, go ahead.
Don't forget the status of limitation ran out. Number one. And number two, Kathy, he
Yeah.
is suing $370 million.
Uh-huh. He's countersuing?
He
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
countersuing.
All
Well, yeah,
right.
sure. And then, but the same thing, unfortunately, if he wins, get his lawsuit. Okay, if he wins this and the state loses, that would automatically probably make him win his counter. But here's the same thing: he wouldn't be able to get his $370 million from New York. They ain't got the money. They'd have to pay him in installments too.
Yeah.
Right. Look, let me ask you guys. Let me ask you guys: are they showing that live on TV? Are they showing the proceedings?
I think they are because
Yeah.
I've been
Yeah.
watching the world news, and but I think I'll probably watch it live tomorrow
Yeah, yeah, me too. I didn't know
because
that they was reporting it live.
yeah, I had to watch Al Jazeera today, Al Jazeera today because right, right, Kathy, because the because the International Court of Justice was live today. And
They
that was
won't.
well, this is important,
Okay.
and that was going to be my next part of my segment. So let's take a break, come back, and I'm gonna see if you guys got anything you guys want to talk about before I actually go into that. Okay. All right, so you guys out there just can't get in the comment column on Facebook, don't worry about it. I know you're with us. Thank you so much for joining us. And we're going to play this. We won't be long in a short break. Stick and stay. Don't go away.
Dad, it's time. It's time! It's time! Woo!
Bruh, this what we're going in for right now. This garden glue.
Bruh, it's time.
It's time. All right, y'all be sure to pick up some of that spinach and artichoke spinach dip at your local Walmart. That's Chef Flavors from Memphis, Tennessee. All right. So, guys, do you guys have anything that you want to talk about before I actually dive into the International Courts live meeting today and what it was all about?
I do.
Go ahead, Kathy.
Yeah.
Come on, Kathy.
Okay.
You're on stage.
Okay, let me put my glasses on here. Okay, The Hill. I'm following The Hill now. Biden campaign record responds to report on Obama, warnings about Trump. So, you know.
No.
The Biden campaign defended its strategy in response to new reporting on criticism from former President Obama on the structure of the Biden campaign and how his concern about former President Trump's strength as a political, strength as a political candidate going into 2024. Quentin Fulks, principal deputy campaign manager for Biden's re-election bid on Sunday, defended the campaign's approach and stressed that Obama and Biden are aligned in their position that Trump needs to be defeated. We're going to continue to do what we need to do in order to be competitive, in order to make sure we're growing the infrastructure that we need to win. President Obama and President Biden talk frequently, as do the campaign and former operatives from President Biden's administration and his campaign. And so one thing that they're talking about, which is really scary because this addresses freedom of speech, and we talked about this before. They said, but the one thing is that we're both aligned on the fact that we have to push back on MAGA, M-A-G-A extremists, such as Julie Green, who believes in God, who says that Trump is our rightful leader, you know, and that isn't in the press, but that's what I'm saying. And the threat that they pose to freedom and democracy. Well, what kind of threat are you guys posing to our democracy? I'd like to know. And why do you want to win by throwing us Trump conservative, you know, believers in religion and, you know, believing in God? You know, why do you want to throw that under the bus? Okay, explain that. Okay.
Well,
That sort of
they can't explain it simply because, and you guys heard me mention this just the other night, is that the United States has always been a Zionist colonial power country. It is not a democratic free country. And it will take it another 200 years to even be one, because slavery was not removed from the books of the United States until 1996. And the reason why I say the United States is because the United States government allowed one state to still have slavery, the right to own a slave on its law, on its legislative law books, and that was Mississippi up until 1996. And they did not want to give it up then. that they were forced in 1996. Who was president in 1996?
That's a good
James,
question.
because they didn't want to give it up then. You see what I'm saying? So that means
Carter,
that.
Clinton.
So
No.
that means that
No,
not,
Reagan's
Who was
it
president in
may have
1996?
been, it may have been Clinton.
Hold
But
on, I'm pulling it up now. Bill
all right,
Clinton. Bill
yeah.
Clinton.
And so you see what I'm saying? And so that means that all of the other former presidents were Zionists and colonial powered mental men that felt that people that the government still had a right to rule people, you know, to control people's lives, right?
Right.
Yeah. So now they're still trying to do it, Kathy. You want to know why they're trying to take away our free speech? Because our speech just became free shortly after 1996. Now they want to take
Yeah,
this.
hey, let's clap on that. I like that. That's
You know what I'm saying? We really hadn't had free speech for the clip on that I'm gonna bring it up, that where I want to show people in writing where about this law that the state of Mississippi was able to keep on the books in writing, because you know they hear me say it, they say, oh well, she don't know what she's talking about, and then they're not going to take time to Google it because it may not be of that much importance to them. But I feel that it's very important to a lot of people. Let's see, I got so many different, here it is. I got so many different screenshots that I sent to myself, you know, so that I can show on different shows when we have it. So I'm waiting for this one to come up. And while it's coming up, it's an insult to have called the United States a free and democratic country all of this time before 1996. That means that you actually were telling a lie all of this time, because as long as you had one state, as long as you allowed and permitted one state to still have the right to own slaves, that's not a free country. In order for you to be a free country, no state should have had the right to own a slave. And you know, in 1870, since after, well, really after the civil rights, because it wasn't until after the civil rights that a lot of the other states came on in there with it. So let me share this right quick, Tim. Hold that thought.
Yeah, sure.
Let me share this so I can show this to you all, and so you can get a better understanding of what I'm saying here. And I'm gonna pull it up and I'm gonna enlarge the writing. Okay. Which one is it? Tell our screen. It's this one. Okay. All right. I pulled up my audio because, and I hope it's not. I hope that it's not.
Can't see that.
I'm gonna enlarge.
Okay.
Give me a minute. I'm trying to find the enlarge button. Hold on just a sec. All right, here we go. Let me see if I can do one more. All right. After failing in 1865 to ratify the 13th Amendment, Mississippi finally ratifies it 130 years after its adoption. After failing for 130 years to ratify the 13th Amendment, which abolished slavery except as punishment for crime. That's an important clause too. Except as punishment for crime.
Yeah.
The state of Mississippi finally ratified the 13th Amendment on March 16th, 1995. Y'all see that? That clause in there that says, now this is from 1865. The clause that says ratification
Mm-hmm.
except for punishment for a crime.
Right.
So what this is actually saying is that even after 1865, if a slave committed a crime, then the whole, for every state in the United States, not just Mississippi, you could still be considered and reclassified as a slave.
Yeah,
Now, how
but
stupid is that?
they turned the
Very
terminology. They turned it from slave to prisoner.
Yes, you're right
Yes.
there. And
possibly. I don't know if that state allows, prisons that pay prisons, but they make a lot of money on those pay
Yeah,
prisons.
yeah. Let me tell you something. Mississippi still has the chain gang.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
still
it's
have
a
the chain gang.
mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I say, the state, I don't go down there unless I just really have to, but I try to avoid any kind of way possible to
Yeah,
not go down there.
I
I
I
had to
have to
stop.
say
I had
one
to
thing.
stop going to my church. Hold it thought. I had to
Oh,
stop
yeah.
going to my church, Brown Baptist, because it was in the state of Mississippi, even though 90% of the membership lives in Memphis, in the state of Tennessee. And they're just across the state line, but still, because of the knowledge that I have about the terrible history of Mississippi, I don't hate the state. Okay, let me explain this, because this is very important, because I don't want anybody to go take this away as me saying that I hate the state of Mississippi. I don't hate the state of Mississippi. I hate the ideology of the state of Mississippi. And that's two different things, because they didn't even want to take slavery off the books. That's an ideology. That's an ideology is something that's very extremely hard to destroy. And that's why I didn't tell you, and the Israelites will not be able to destroy the ideology of Hamas, which is a people that just want to be free. Martin Luther King, as we learned, well, now y'all didn't hear this, but Martin Luther King said in his speeches, and I don't know if you ever listened to all of them before, that African Americans would never, and Africans in Africa. I'm not sorry, not Martin Luther King.
and to who?
The man that died to free,
Malcolm.
the man that
Malcolm.
died, the man that died to free Africa, that stayed in jail.
Mandela.
Mandela.
Yeah, yeah.
Mandela.
Same name.
Mandela.
I
Right.
butchered that.
You got that too.
It's the
Mandela.
same name.
Nelson Mandela, in his
Mm-hmm.
speeches, if you ever heard him in his speeches, if you haven't listened to them, he said that the people of Africa and all people of color will never be free until the people of Palestine are free. So back then, that was a powerful message. Nowadays, people don't pay that any attention at all, because they cannot make the connection of the Palestinians to the Africans,
Yeah.
which
Well,
leads
I
me
can
to
say
the fact that,
it's
hold on,
it's a little.
hold it,
Sorry, go
which
ahead.
leads me, which gonna lead me into my
Mhm.
segue after Kathy gets her thoughts out
Okay.
about
I got one quick thing behind Kathy.
okay, after you and Kathy get your thoughts out, the reason why I'm bringing this up about Mandela and his statement about democracy and people of color not going to be free until the Palestinians are free is because this country of Africa, out of 153 countries of the international community, was the only country that has brought a resolution to the International Court of Justice against the state of Israel. Okay, come on, Kathy.
Well, this is just a Mississippi comment, but I was flabbergasted my sister and I were in the Air Force in Lackland, and we were heading towards Biloxi for our training. And as soon as we got on the bus, they said, "We want to inform you that the Ku Klux Klan is having rallies." This was in 1976, and here I am from New England, right? Our plane almost crashed when we got above Lackland, like the airport. And then we get there and we go through basic training and we finally graduate. And now we're on this bus. And I have some Black friends and they looked horrified. They looked totally horrified. So they said, so, we're just telling you, don't go alone. And I would advise anyone, that Black otherwise, to not go off the base. Seriously. So they couldn't even travel off the base. But what happened is my sister and I were on the beach enjoying ourselves, even though there'd been a hurricane in Biloxi and some of the palm trees were messed up, but we were still enjoying ourselves. And then the Ku Klux Klan, they were like in full garb. They were on a rally. They drove right down the beach. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? So we saw them all stop at a gas station. So after they all left, we went over there and he goes, "Oh, that's just the Ku Klux Klan. They're just having a rally." I'm like, "What do you mean that's just the Ku Klux Klan? I'm from New England. I don't deal with this, And it was really sad. I'm telling you that it was so out in the open back then.
Yeah.
You're right. You're absolutely right, Tim.
Really sad.
Yeah. A quick story, right quick. I stayed in Olive Branch, Mississippi for about 7 years, right? In a subdivision, basically brand new. I had a neighbor which was across the street from me, which was Caucasian, but his kids were around the age of my children. He had a situation with his daughter. His daughter was 16 years old, and she was seeing a man that was like 28, 29. So the father trying to do it the right way, called the police out to his house and kept telling them and letting them know that I can't get her away from this guy. Do you know what they told him? There's nothing that they could do. The age of consent is 16 years old in Mississippi. I couldn't believe that.
Yeah, it is. And years and 50 years ago, the age of consent was 13.
Oh man, I was dumbfounded. We all were.
Yeah.
Ooh,
believe it.
Bad.
You see, that's why I study history, because there's so many hidden facts and truth that's hidden and that's not printed in the books to teach the school children. And if the student or the individual that graduates high school doesn't take it upon themselves to read other books of history, read the history of their country, their state, other countries, then they would never know the truth. Because in these printed books that they put in school for to teach the kids off of, they don't put the truth in there. They only put certain truths, but they don't put the whole truth.
And they no longer have books. It's all computer.
It's all computer now. But still, they have a curriculum, even on those computers, that's only part truths.
That's true.
That they want to teach to the students. And so that's why the students come out of high school and then they go to college, and a lot of them fail because they weren't taught properly.
Right.
And so the college is coming at them with all of this information, and the student is so doggone confused because this is what they want. This is not what they were taught, or they didn't know anything about it. So now they don't know which way to believe. Do I believe what the college professor is saying, what they're teaching them? Are they teaching me crap? Is this right? And so they're failing because it's too challenging for them. So a lot of them drop out. Or they've changed their course of study to something much simpler that won't land them a job, like liberal arts. For me, in my case, I can speak from truth. Even though the university promised me that they will place me in a high paying position on a job, high paying job somewhere after I graduate. They did not.
Yeah.
So
And not only that, you acquire all that debt while you're going through college.
thank you, Tim. All right, let's take a break. And I think we'll probably have a repeat commercial. I think we run out of commercials. I don't think I have enough of them uploaded because we did get a new studio. And a bit of news to share. I am now officially verified by Facebook. I had the blue check mark by my profile name. Yay!
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
Yes.
That's
So
huge.
Blue
That's
check,
huge.
blue check is big business.
that's big
Yeah.
business, and it brings in more followers for me and our shows, and more traffic my way, and it's considered as a high recommendation from
Are you an
Facebook.
influencer?
Yeah.
I am a creator, a content creator, not so much as an influencer. The meta check mark that Facebook puts on the profiles is not free. You have to pay for it. It's $14.99 a month. But if you're in the business, like I am, entertainment and broadcasting, I need to have that blue check mark by my name because a lot of people, and Twitter does the same thing. Twitter says something else that they have, that you get the verifications to. I don't know how much theirs are, but I don't use Twitter that much. I just share the Twitter. My base is I've been with Facebook ever since 2011 or 12 when it first came out, and so I need that to help us navigate to other social media platforms to help us draw in good other people that are just as verified and that they're trustworthy and they are who they say they are.
And
because anybody can make a Facebook page, right?
Well, yeah. Here's the thing. Not only that, a lot of these so-called important people, they will check your status on your on your Facebook.
You're
and
right.
A blue check can be the difference of whether I come to the show or not.
And you're right about that too, Tim. You're actually right about that. And actually, I did. They sent me. I thought I had done everything, but you actually have to send your identification because I had sent my identification one time before, but it wasn't for this. So I thought like maybe they already had it on file, right?
Yeah.
So that they sent me a message on my messages, in my administrative messages on Facebook that I had one more step to do. So I did that. And then they said that my verification mark should show by my name within 48 hours. Well, I went there just before the show to share the show, right? Yeah. And that was the check mark. It was that fast.
Great.
Congrats.
Thank you, Tim. Yeah. And this is congrats to all of us because I represent y'all. And so when they come and see that for me, then they know that you guys are the real deal. You know what I'm saying? So
it legitimizes all of us, really.
Exactly. Yeah. Thanks, Kathy. Yeah. So forget about the commercial because it's almost time to get out of here anyway. So let me just tell right quick. So like I said, Africa has filed this complaint against Israel because so my question was, is Israel will Israel continue to be the chosen one? Because the United States is ally, and the UK is ally. Has let Israel go wild with slaughter and genocide, and they are denying that Israel is committing genocide. None of the countries were bold enough, brave enough, and sympathetic enough and empathetic enough to come forward and file an actual complaint with the International Court of Justice. You know, remember y'all, I asked the question, I said, isn't there some type of organization that
Yeah,
can stop this? You know?
yeah, I remember that.
Well, I did not know about the International Court of Justice. There is one. It has about 20 judges on it. A lot of them are some are from the UK. You know, they had these wigs on and they had these robes with the bow ties and all that. I saw all of them. I was going to show a clip of it, but I can save it for another time. But anyhow, it's a lot of them that sits in this panel and room, and they present their cases. And as South Africa presented the case, and South Africa's reason is that they said that they can relate to what the Palestinians are going through in an apartheid state, which is an occupied state, which is Israel is occupied state. The Palestinians have been living under occupation for 75 years. They said they relate because they were in the same place. Now they're not there anymore. So they know what the Palestinians are going through, and this is why they brought the case. They know what genocide is. That's why they're better qualified to bring a case. That's why they knew they had to speak up. So Netanyahu is saying that Africa's case with the International Court is baseless. And so does Blinken, and so does Biden. What do y'all think about that?
Well, you know, they're the only country that's actually, you know, fighting this. So they're the ones that are going to be harassed by the ones that want to keep this going. So I think that that's false statement. They do have a right to do this, and they do. They have been suffering. They constantly have been suffering. Africa is one of the worst, you know, tragic scenarios, actually.
Mm-hmm. And they're still suffering in some parts of it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so they'll be back tomorrow. And so I'll now that you tell I'll be going back and forth tomorrow on the lives between Trump's court and the International Court of Justice.
Right. Yeah, like you were saying, we didn't know about that, nor did I. This is my first time finding out about that council. But it's good that it's there so they can plead their case, and they may get some results sooner than later.
Well, the thing about it is they will get some results, but it won't get the result that they're asking. The result that they're asking for is that the International Court make Israel stop the war.
Right.
Stop the spread.
Right.
Okay, so even if they do, the judges in the International Court vote in favor and say that yes, Israel is committing genocide on these people, and they listed the 6 reasons why. And they're kind of long, so I won't go into all. But even if those judges say in this court say yes, Israel is guilty of genocide, and we confirm this and we validate this and put our stamp on it. Yes, they are committing genocide. Unfortunately, the International Court has no power to make Israel stop the war. But what it does do is it brings worldwide attention to other countries to open their eyes and maybe take another look.
Yeah, something really going on there.
What Israel is doing. So this is like the biggest voice the biggest international voice there is. And if they say that this is genocide, it will force other countries, all except the United States and the UK, and maybe France, to
and it could have been a tactical situation. They probably knew that they could not just automatically stop them, but you always ask for more than what you really want, right? Mm-hmm. So it could have been just for that reason, as you just said, to bring more attention and more eyes to open and focus on what's really going on.
Well, the thing about it is they presented their evidence. They got evidence of Netanyahu saying that he wants to kill everybody.
Oh,
and his war cabinet members, his generals, and the soldiers got videos of them singing and dancing. That no civilian is what is it? No, so there is no guilty. There is no non-guilty in civilians. That's what they were singing. They were singing in what is the language? Hebrew.
Mhm.
But they was putting the writing down upon this what that meant, what they translation. They
Yeah.
said no civilians is innocent. And they were dancing and singing and round in a circle and jumping up and down instead
Yeah.
of singing this song. And their intent was what their intent was. Not
Yeah.
only that, they showed them videos of the destruction of the babies, how they had been slaughtered, and the children, the mothers, mostly women and children. 90% of the more up to almost 30,000 now, counting the maybe 8 to 10,000 that's buried under the rubble, are women and children.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's really bad for the soldiers because not following orders can land them in the slammer.
Well, did y'all know that they shot 3 of the captives week
Nah, I
before
didn't know
last? Yeah, 3 of the captives had managed to escape from Hamas. They didn't have on any clothes, and they was waving white material
Yeah.
for the white flag. And this particular group of soldiers shot and killed them.
Oh man.
And what Netanyahu in his war cabinet said was, this was unfortunately a mistake, but the soldiers had no way of knowing whether it was Hamas members pretending to be hostages.
Mm.
Killed them dead on the spot.
That doesn't make any sense. Hamas wouldn't be running around naked. That doesn't make any sense.
That just shows you that they're not trying to be precise. They don't care for human life. That just shows you right there. Their mission is to just shoot and kill. They don't care.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it was discovered. The bodies were discovered that they were actual Israeli hostages that had managed to escape from the one tunnel somewhere.
Yeah, they knew. That just was.
No, they didn't know. They didn't know. They really didn't know. But the population and the families of these hostages, man, they started some stuff in there. Right now, 75% of the Israeli population, the citizens, they so pissed off at Netanyahu, they don't know what to do. They want him. They have asked him to resign.
Yeah,
So
ain't
see,
gonna happen.
no, it's not going to happen. But isn't, our guest last night was talking about karma. Isn't it funny how now this karma has turned around and turned his people against him, which is what he never thought would happen.
Yeah.
All right, that's all I got. I've been talking away tonight. So let's do some closing thoughts. James, I'm going to start with you. Ziggy, quiet.
I forgot what I was going to say.
All right, I'll move on up to the other man, Tim.
Oh wow, man! Another entertaining show with a lot of information. Glad to be here. Can't wait to do it again. And y'all leave Trump alone.
That's good.
Leave that man alone. He got work to do.
Well, the thing about it is, he's a strong one.
Yeah.
He's taking it, and he can take it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he battle tested.
I'm glad about that part of it, because
you can get.
I wouldn't wish what he's going through on anybody. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy.
Well, yeah, we got to look at it this way though. This man got through a virus, something that this country has never went through.
Yeah.
So he's battle tested to the fullest.
That's right.
So you're right.
And never been in the military, but he battle tested.
Oh yeah.
All right, Kathy.
Well, you had mentioned things about Obama really controlling the White House. And after seeing this article, about Obama advising Biden
Yeah.
about Trump and strategies. This isn't quite right. This is not sitting right. That's all I can say. And
Yeah.
you all
Yeah.
be the judge. Don't let them take our freedoms away. Don't let them say we can't believe in God. Don't let them say that we can't believe the way we want to believe.
Right.
So and don't let them tell us that we can't say who the rightful president is if we believe the elections have been fraudulent. So
That's right.
don't
Yeah.
push that on us. Okay?
Yeah.
And Democrats, wake up, because I've been both, and I've been independent. So I just want to let you know. So
Right.
it's
Right.
scary. It's scary.
Good deal. Good deal.
Good point. Good comments. James, did you think about what you were going to say?
Well, here's how corrupt they are. Trump's daughter lost the mother-in-law or something, and they wouldn't even let him be excused from the court.
Oh man.
Oh man, I did not know that.
Melania's mom died.
Yeah.
It's
Oh
Mom.
my, his
that's how
mother-in-law.
serious.
Yeah, his
it's
mother-in-law. I'm sorry.
Oh my goodness, that is so wrong.
And they wouldn't even excuse him.
But that karma's gonna come back to him.
Oh yeah.
That
Oh,
karma
yeah.
is gonna come back to them. They just don't realize it. They don't care because they ain't thinking about it. They probably don't even believe in karma. But karma is a mother for you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's gonna come back to bite them.
Yeah. At the end of the day, you got to give the people what they want.
Yeah, you're right, Tim. Well, listen, team, you all like the greatest team in the world. Thank you all so much, and thank you guys
Thank you,
for
Mom.
joining us. And I think somebody came in. Oh, yeah, Judy. Hi, Judy. Tell
Hey,
Jim to
Judy.
clean his desk. His desk looked just fine.
No,
You
it's a
should,
mess. I'll be honest. It's a mess.
not to me. I don't see anything cluttered.
My kitty cats think it's their bed.
Oh, I see what she's saying. Well, anyway, tomorrow is the roundtable discussion, and we'll be taking points to talk about from the audience
All right.
tomorrow night, and then you guys bring your own points that you want to talk about. It doesn't matter. It can be, well, I really don't want to mix politics or paranormal stuff. Let's try to keep it in general conversation, about anything other than politics and paranormal.
Okay.
And it doesn't have to be specifically entertainment, but I mean, just like what's going on, that you want to talk about.
We can talk about the Emmy Awards.
Yeah, stuff like that, and just round table discussions,
Yeah. Yeah.
just real folks talk. Just in
Yeah.
other words, that's what I'm talking about. Okay.
Right.
And then the following week, Kathy, I think you have somebody, but anyway, that's so far off. We'll tell you about it tomorrow night. Kathy, I have it together by then. Let me know who and what's going on. I think that's our night. Yeah. So anyhow, like we reserved 2 nights from the month for our month now for this year. That we're trying this for a while. See how it goes. That we have the round table, and then we have our family game night. The family game night is always the last Friday night of the month. Isn't that right, Kathy? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we have 2 guests 2 times out of the month. So we're trying to just balance it off and see, how it works out. And if it doesn't work out, we'll go back to what we were doing. It doesn't matter. That's one thing I like about having our own show. We run it the way we want to run it, right?
Yeah.
If you think of it, Emily,
There's no big sponsor to tell us no, you can't do that that way, but yeah, we try to work together. We work together really good, and so we're just trying this out for a little while and just see how it goes, because we want to try to keep our audience, just
entertaining.
we want a diverse audience, and everybody just don't like entertainment, so we want to give them something else and give them a chance to talk. James, my new show is Sunday, 4:00 p.m. I expect to see you in the studio. The link is on the event, and that's permanent link because that's a show. This is the first time ever that I've done this before. But the link is a permanent link for everybody. Anybody can come into the studio.
And what
So
time Sunday is that?
it's 4 o'clock p.m. There's no host. I'm not hosting. I'm just gonna be an MC, Mr. Ceremony.
So it's 3 p.m. Eastern and
4 o'clock
4 p.m.
Central. It's 4 o'clock Central, so it's 5 p.m. in Eastern
Oh,
time.
5 p.m. Okay.
Yes,
5.
and so it's just it's not religious. Although there might be some religion talked about, but I'm just opening up a place for people to come. They might be lonely. They might just want to say something. They might want to sing, and they might can't sing. Nobody want to listen to them, but they might just have something that they need to say. And the way that people are dying today, we don't ever know when it's going to be somebody's last chance. And that was the main purpose that the Spirit spoke to me and said to open up this studio for people to just come in and say what
What's
they
it
want
going
to
to be
say.
called? What's the show going to be
It's
called?
called Let's Testify.
Let's testify.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
your testimony doesn't have to be religious. Your testimony could be,
About
I
life.
was hurting so bad yesterday, but thank goodness I feel better today. That's a testimony. You know what I
Right.
mean? And I just want
Mhm.
24 people will be able to be on the screen at the same time, so we'll have a large studio. The studio should be full. I think about 11 or 12 people have already said they're coming, and then a lot of, but you don't have to just declare that you're coming on the event. It's just a pop up. Anybody
That's
can
cool.
pop in. I'm gonna keep 24 on the screen at all times, and they can come, stay as long as they want, leave as long as I can open up a space for somebody new coming in. I might ask somebody that may have been in, 15 minutes or 20 minutes, and they already said what they had to say.
Drop
Look,
down.
yeah, can you can you just close yourself out of the studio because I got some more people waiting to come in, that sort of thing, And we
24
just,
pictures. I'm going to need a bigger screen.
oh, I don't know. I'm not getting that
Now
big.
you be able to see it.
It's
You
a
should,
joke.
you should still be able to see everybody.
Yeah, you'll be able to see it.
Yeah, yeah. So it's gonna be free. We talk about freedom, and a lot of folks just not able to have their own studio, but they might like to appear in the studio sometimes, and they can just come and hang out and share. A lot of times you can learn some golden nuggets from somebody that you don't even
Yeah,
expect.
yeah,
and
yeah,
especially from somebody you don't even know,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
and so that's what
An
this is.
impartial.
Totally impartial, right? We're not looking at creed, color, religion, sex, transgender, whatever.
And unscripted.
Unscripted. It's not. Yeah, just respectful. That's the only rule. I only have one rule for the show, and that's please be respectful. That's it.
Always.
All right, you guys. Thank y'all so much. Hello, Sandra. All right, we'll see you tomorrow night. We're getting ready to close now. And
Hi, Cindy.
as we always say on our politics show, what we close on is this: free thought is a philosophy. It is not a policy. So, as Kathy was saying, don't get brainwashed. Don't let anybody put a policy on your free speech. Tell you what you can say and what you can't say. Because your speech comes from your thought, and thought is free. So free thought is a philosophy and not a policy. All right, that's our show. Good night,
All right.
everybody.
Good night.
Family.
Good night.
Bye.